Hey everyone, and welcome back to my completionist playthrough of the Baldur's Gate Saga with SCS. And now we are free to explore the Illithid city, but before we go anywhere, we need to loot this crack in the wall that I forgot about for some money, and I also wanted to showcase that this door leads nowhere. There's a dead end immediately. And first we're going to explore south to showcase an important room, and this is where our fights with the Illithids are going to start. But they should generally be a walk in the park compared to what we've been through recently. After the grueling beholder fights and whatnot, but we're still going to have to prepare with some chaotic commands on everyone. And we're also going to give Imoen stone skins. I think we're already going to apply iron skins on Jaheira. And that's all to limit the damage from the ballistic attack that the Mind Flayers in SCS have, which deals physical damage, quite a bit of it actually. And since Sinashira doesn't have any more stone skins left to cast, aside from her spell sequencer that we're going to use later, we're going to use mirror images on her to hopefully absorb some of these ballistic attacks. And they're not going to be an issue right here. There's going to be a small group of Mind Flayers, but a little bit later on we're going to be fighting groups of up to 6 of them at once, and if they choose to use a couple of ballistic attacks on the same person especially, that can be a little nasty. Oh yeah, and also we're going to use this projected image from Edwin. And if he gets damaged by some detonates coming from the Mind Flayers, his projected image is going to disappear, but we only really need it to apply some of the buffs it has at its disposal for free. We want to apply some spirit armors, primarily on Sinashira, to improve her armor class, and Carrion can also get one. And I think we're also going to apply some protection from magic energy. Those detonates that deal magic damage don't deal too much of it, but still, that's something that we can use for free. There's nothing really that much more useful than that, and I think Anomen is going to get the other one. Because he's going to be vulnerable to some ballistic attacks and some melee damage, and these detonates, are just going to add to it. On him, we're also going to give protection from fire to Sinashira for a tactic that we're going to use a little bit later, and I think Carrion might get one. Of course, Jaheira and Anomen have gear that can protect them from fire. Right now we're also going to get improved invisibility to Sinashira. That's going to still improve her armor class and her saving throws, even though the Illithids can see through invisibility, and I guess we can summon a Mordenkainen sword here already, in case we lose this projected image. It's not going to last for too long anyway. Alright, so this is going to be a little bit of a distraction. Mind Flayers generally in SCS deal very well with summons, but still, that's something. Alright, so one of them used... Alright, they started out with psionic blasts. That's cool. This one, of course, is the easiest fight of them all, although we got our intelligence drained a little bit. Alright. Oh, and also I wanted to take out these oils of speed so we can have a big stack of them outside, so that we can put some lower quantities of different potions into Jaheira's potion case. Alright, and now we're going to come across a spooky room here with all of these poor people incapacitated and attached to this machinery that apparently pumps some strange liquid into their veins, keeping them in this state. And also there's a machine that we're going to use a little bit later. And now we're going to explore north, where the passage outside is. But unfortunately it's going to be inaccessible for us, blocked by a door that only a powerful mind or godly strength will be able to open. And this one is the same. We can also loot this harp that we are going to hold on to for later, once Carrion gets access to use any item. Oh yeah, Edwin, now you're operational. And yeah, that harp is basically going to give us access to another source of essentially remove paralysis. Not only Anomen, but also Carrion is going to be able to dispel hold-like effects like that. So we're going to stash it for now, and here there's going to be a room with some respawning Illithids that we're going to need for later. But now we're going to get some of this liquid over there. Yeah, this is kind of like a steady supply of illithids for our own shenanigans is going to be available here. But yeah, in these vats, there's a crimson oily liquid that we can take with us and gain access to this illithid serum, which is apparently not too pleasant of a liquid, but it is going to be very useful for us, and certainly the people in the chamber down south are going to be very grateful. Because we're going to pour some of this liquid into the tubes of this machinery here, and that is going to create a reaction. Of course, as always, feel free to pause and read all of the descriptions, but yeah, that reaction is going to awaken them, get them out of their stupor, and their slave leader over here, of course, is grateful to us. You cannot imagine what a horror it was, nightmare after nightmare without the ability to awaken. My name is Camaris Highcastle of Myratma. So they were some kind of an expedition into the Underdark, and I think they fared pretty well. Yeah, they had been in the Underdark for a week, maybe more. I heard a noise, and then everything went grey and blurry. The Mind Flayers must have surprised us. Next thing I remember, we were hooked to these machines. It was strange. You could see everything and be aware, but not quite. So, some kind of a lucid dreaming type state, perhaps. They somehow used our minds to power those machines over there. It makes necklaces, circlets rather, which the Mind Flayers use to control their slaves. If you were captured too, I can only imagine the next batch of circlets would have been meant for you. Good thing you escaped when you did. So this is something that the ogre mentioned about the colors, and these ones are very effective at mind controlling others, and they are so effective, in fact, that we are going to be able to use them on the Mind Flayers themselves. And yeah, I guess we were fortunate to be able to escape before we had those applied to us. And we're not going to be able to have them help us in any way, aside from all of the important information that they have provided us, and we're just going to wait here until we have figured out a way to escape this place. And now we can use this machine ourselves to create some of these circlets. We're going to be able to create 4 of them, and now the machine is cool to our touch. We have spent all of the energy that was left in it, I guess. And these control circlets here, we're going to need 2 to escape from this place, and the other 2 we can just keep for later use in the game, and they are actually quite effective against many different types of opponents. So we're going to have to think carefully on who we're going to want to mind control with that. But yeah, now we can go back to this room with our steady supply, I guess, of Mind Flayers. Let's just send Jaheira first. Alright, there he comes. I don't want the Stoneskins from Senashira to get cut through too quickly, so if she can, like, tank a ballistic attack to the face, then that's going to be good. He doesn't seem to be likely to do anything. Alright, aside from casting Improved Invisibility, but we were able to mind control him, and now we have a Mind Flayer friend. So, come on, buddy. We are going to have a use for your powerful mind. So he's going to turn hostile after opening this door for us. And actually both of these doors are going to swing open. So we have to be prepared to fight him. He's going to be pretty mad after what we have forced him to do here. And yeah, since he was invisible, alright, now he shows up. The Githyanki are also going to appear, but I think they are only going to become visible once we are out of combat. Alright, Simiaz should teleport in. Yeah.
You have done well, and the Githyanki are now free of the illithid web of minds. Our own power is free once more, and we may leave this place on wings of will.
You will remain here, I fear, for we cannot carry you and still remain free ourselves. In the future we will return and kill all the filth that their tentacles have touched. So, unfortunately they cannot take us with them, and no matter what we respond here with, his message is going to be generally the same, although phrased a little bit differently. And they're going to generally wish us well, but they are still pretty mad at us for carrying that silver blade that we got from Saemon Havarian. Yeah, if you can conquer this place, if you can kill the Elder Brain, all the doors shall swing wide and you may walk free. If not, we will return at a later time with a greater force. This den of filth will be wiped from existence. I hope you succeed and the Elder Brain falls beneath your feet, but I hope the arm that wields our silver sword is lost to you. Well, we don't even have the sword assembled yet, we just have the blade part of it. We don't have the hilt yet. So I don't know what you're talking about, Simiaz.
What is it?
You little freak. But anyway, now the more serious fights with the Mind Flayers are going to commence. So here we already have the protection from fire on Senashira, and we're going to employ our first Firestorm in this one. And there's going to be a larger group of Mind Flayers, and just as a reminder, they have 90% magic resistance, and the Ulitharids I think have 95. So basically the only usable spell here is going to be Firestorm, and very effective at that. And also our Bolt of Glory, but it's only single target, and usually the Mind Flayers are going to come in bigger groups, and they also have the ability to cast improved invisibility, so single target spells are not that great of an idea. Alright, so we're going to cast some mirror images, wait a little bit so that she can cast protection from magic weapons that we're going to need here, certainly. And we're just going to support Senashira with our ranged weapons from here.
What do you want? What is certainly?
Alright, so they use some detonates. She is immune to that magic damage. Good thing we did not start to cast with Animan yet. Alright, and now we can safely apply our protection from magic weapons and try to unleash that Firestorm in there. Alright, and try to focus our attacks. So first some Ulitharid. They might start teleporting over to our other guys here, so he's badly injured. Alright, Animan was able to unleash that Firestorm.
I am ready. It is done.
Now let's just don't get too close to it, I guess, so that we don't get damaged by our own fire here, but yeah, it's going to be pretty effective. We also have to be careful not to have Senashira just quickly run back if the target that she is hitting teleports over there. You know, with the Boots of Speed, she can just quickly come over to the corridor, and of course the Mind Flayers are going to follow her and not stay in our Firestorm, and I want another round of that fire damage to affect them. So this one is badly injured, this one is barely injured, so let's focus our attention on this one. Good thing about Edwin getting hit, for example, is that he can tank 3 Devour Brain attacks. How are we doing here? Jaheira needs to get away. Alright, this Ulitharid is also going over there, so let's hit this one. This one is near death, this one is injured. Alright, Jaheira, go back. Animan also cannot tank more than 1 hit, so we have to be mindful of that. Alright, so he got hit just now. Yeah, the detonates in a situation like that, when they teleport over to you and, you know, to your bunched up party, you can suffer some damage from that detonate, but it's not a big deal. Alright, we want their attention to be focused on Senashira, and perhaps we can leave Imoen here and use her intelligence. Right, these Ulitharids of course can heal. I'm just looking here at the portrait icons on our characters just to... Oh yeah, a lot of Devour Brains showing up, so Imoen needs to get away, and Senashira is fine. Alright, one more of them left near death. Oh no, you, Animan. Not you, should we say. Alright, so that's it. Not the toughest fight in here, but still a more notable one. Unfortunately, these intelligence drains don't last for too long, so I'm not going to go out of my way to wait out these. Yeah, they're already gone. But there's going to be another fight. I think there's 3 of them inside there, so not too big of a deal. Let's kind of just position our guys a little bit better. And I think... How many of them? Alright, you have some mirror images left, so let's apply them. And let's go in. keep our momentum. Yeah, 2 Mind Flayers, 1 Ulitharid. Oh yeah, of course, Jaheira is not attacking in melee.
Yes, it will be done.
You will fall by my hand. At your order. Righteousness shall prevail.
With vengeance. What is it?
Alright, cool.
Death shall take you.
How's our intelligence? Still 12.
Yes. What is it?
Alright, 7. 1 more. You know what? I'm not going to chance it. Well, now that he's slowed, I might. Our Flail of Ages helping us out here. And this is a really cool room. As you can see, our cursor changes here, and with from every one of these containers here, we're going to be able to create some brine potions, 8 of them in total. And they are going to be useful potions against Mind Flayers, especially if someone gets dispelled or their chaotic commands runs out, something like that. They are going to be a protection against psionics that we will be able to apply. As you can see, there's only 1 potion you can make out of each of these containers. But you know, yeah, if you have to quickly apply a protection against psionics, they are going to be pretty cool. They only last for 1 turn. Not too short of a duration, but you know, nothing impressive. But yeah, you can apply them on anyone. Of course, anyone can drink those and apply that kind of protection for themselves in a pinch. Right, and here we're nearing. Alright, Carrion summons not too great. We can get a random scroll in there in most cases. And yeah, here comes, I think, the biggest of these encounters. Here there's going to be 6 of them in total, I think, and some Umber Hulks. So protection from magical weapons is definitely going to be used here. What else can we do? I think we're going to even apply some mirror images on our mages.
What is it? Certainly.
And get ourselves another Mordenkainen sword. Yeah, Mona has 2 uses of that. Protection from magic weapons, and Edwin the same, and Sinashir as well. So we're going to try to use our Firestorm to the best of its effect, if we can here. Alright, there we go. They're going to, of course, gradually make themselves visible. Yeah, there's quite a few of them there. And let's actually give the Boots of Haste to Animan so he can position himself quickly. Now, that effect is pretty... has some good radius. Anyway, I think they are done. We can safely start casting now. You know what, actually, what we can do here is, next round, Sinashira can apply a potion of heroism here, just to increase her effectiveness in combat a little bit, and get her Thaco improved. She cannot do that yet. Alright, hopefully not too many of them teleport, so that they can get damaged by that Firestorm. Alright, 3 of them apparently came over, and we probably need to prepare some potions of genius that we might have to use. Although, we'll see how the situation develops.
I am ready.
Alright, uninjured, uninjured, injured. So let's carry on here.
Yes.
We're even going to transfer these Boots of Speed to Jaheira, so that whenever Jaheira or Animan get hit by that Devour Brain, they can actually reposition quickly. How are we doing here? Badly injured. Hopefully these guys can stay for 1 more round of Firestorm. If we can maybe block the passage here somewhat. How are you doing here? Injured. Near death. No intelligence drain so far. Alright, cool. Skeleton warriors are also decently effective against Mind Flayers, but not so much in SCS, and also because of the Firestorm that bypasses magic resistance, of course. They would receive some damage from it. Right, Eneman needs to get out of there. Jahira is still fine. I think we're fine. This one's... even though this is a tougher group of Mind Flayers, this actually went better. We get a lot of potions. I think we're going to sell some of these 19 strength potions when we get the chance. Alright, now let's re-equip ourselves. Right, so there's a hidden passage, but let's go down here first.
Yes.
The magical sword, you know, is a little salty about getting hit by that Firestorm, but doesn't matter. We can still control him. We can control his bloodthirst. Anyway, there's going to be 3 special chambers with some other captives of the Mind Flayers. Alright, since the sword is here already, let's fight this insane dwarf. He's going to have a really nice piece of equipment for us. Right, boom. These are going to be quite easy. Oh yeah, we get this really cool ring from him. Ring of Fire Control. Allows us to chime fire elementals, gives us burning hands against some trolls perhaps. For this reason, it would have been cool if this was available earlier in the game. Also another flame strike source, so you can have this on a fighter of some sort and cast a flame strike to interrupt a mage perhaps. And 50% fire resistance instead of the 40. So now we're going to have someone or something to make Anoman actually completely immune to fire instead of just 90% resistant. And of course this is just yet another piece of equipment. So we can use this ring with 40 on someone else combined with a scroll of fire protection, for example, for 90% protection. So yeah, we basically now we can have 2 people, Jahira and Anoman, completely immune to fire just from their equipment, which is a very valuable thing to have. Oh yeah, and I didn't end up drinking that potion of heroism in the end. Anyway, sword, come with me.
Speak without hesitation. Yes.
Here we have a Kuotan guy.
I am ready.
Actually, let's not make it too crowded down there. And use some ranged weapons.
This will not take long.
A few more of the Kuotan bolts.
It is as you would have it. Speak if it must be done. Yes. What is it?
Another Umber Hulk. Alright.
Be done.
And now we already come upon the final encounter.
Speak certainly.
Oh yeah, we need, of course, another Mind Flayer to open the passage to their Elder Brain. So let's just quickly teleport over here with Senashira. And, you know, that magical sword. Dude. Oh yeah, also, we need to go into this passage. But let's get our business concluded here. 1 control circlet, please. Alright, boom. Let's just teleport them back. Alright, finally this little nuisance is unsummoned. Alright, do your thing, buddy. And now in payment for your services, a swift death. Merciful swift death. We were able to grant him. Alright, let's get to... This is kind of like an armory area, but unfortunately we're not going to be able to get too much of stuff from here. Alright, they're right at the door with their detonates. Alright, just physical damage this time with some focus fire. We should be fine. Alright, Jahira. Caution mode engaged. You can fight this Umber Hulk.
I stand amongst the righteous. Very well.
What is it next time?
We need to get this regen ring. Oh, she even has that regen ring, Senashira. And she's been able to... she has sustained some damage from probably some of these ballistic attacks. And her stone skins are not there anymore. Yeah, I think there's just one container here with a Staff of Command. So continuing, of course, the theme of Mind Flayers being able to assault the mind of their targets. Here we have the Staff of Command, and it can cast Domination with no save allowed. So this is actually really opens up some cool options. So we're definitely going to hold on to that. Alright, and now is the time for the final fight. And I think we're going to do something interesting on both Senashira, and actually we're going to allow Imoen to also shine a little bit here. And
What is it?
let's just heal up first. Senashira also was able to level up, level 17, more level 7 and 8 spells. So we're going to, of course, rearrange our spells later. And now for this final fight, we're not going to use any fire tactics. You know, we actually don't want Imoen to have a better armor class, so the spirit armor we're not going to apply to her. Right, and basically what we're going to do on Imoen, we're going to use this Fire Shield Blue. And now we're going to... Oh yeah, she even has that equipped. Unfortunately, our Staff of Fire in Spellhold got recharged. That's one thing that, you know, she of course had equipped in her hands. Or someone had that... No, Jaheira had that in her inventory at the time. And that got recharged, but we're never going to use all of these charges. So that shouldn't be a big deal. We're not going to use more than we're supposed to have, I guess. And she's going to apply a Fire Shield Red from this source. And we're also going to use that spell sequencer on Senashira. So she can have a nice double Fire Shield. Look at that pretty purple color. That looks so nice. And before we go in there, we're going to apply some protection from magical weapons. And allow the Mind Flayers to maybe not kill themselves, but at least injure themselves by just hitting us in our... and receiving damage from the fire shields, which that damage that's reflected by the fire shields also bypasses magic resistance. So I just wanted to showcase that, as there's very few sources that bypass magic resistance, and that's one of them. So let's make use of it. And do you still have your commands? Yeah. Yes, you do. So actually, let's open the door. Oh yeah, we have to unlock it.
Yes, certainly.
Right, there we go. And here is the Master Brain, actually. It has 200 hit points and 50% damage resistance, although it's pretty vulnerable to spells, actually, and we're going to use some. There's a couple of Mind Flayers around, but yeah, now we're going to... Actually, they didn't cast anything damaging us that could interrupt our spells, so we can apply our protection from magical weapons. And the Master Brain generally has the same abilities that the Mind Flayers have, in addition to this Ego Whip that actually is going to hit all of our party, no matter where they are. But of course we're all protected with chaotic commands. And it actually can deal some physical damage from range, believe it or not, through some kind of a psionic mental attack, I guess. But anyway, this door should actually shut, or close shut, or however, shut itself closed, or whatever you're supposed to, whatever is the expression.
I am ready. What is it now?
But yeah, let's just kill this Umber Hulk. And then the Mind Flayers basically have... Oh, I forgot. Oh my god, a crucial mistake. I forgot to, of course, apply spell immunity to Abjuration, which Imoen actually had the ability to do. I specifically had the spell immunity because I forgot that the Elder Brain has this special ability, Psionic Disjunction, which basically is remove magic, a pretty effective one. But yeah, the damage we're going to be able to do with the fire shields on Senashira, I guess, is going to be still nice. And Imoen just has to get over there. Now she's encumbered, of course, because she has too many pairs of boots. And that means that she also is vulnerable to different psionic stuff. Alright, so, of course, this type of plan, where they just keep hitting a target that's immune to their damage, and receive fire damage in return. Works better if you're solo and you don't have any other party members that they can teleport to. But, well, that was a failure on my part there, forgetting about that that dispel.
I am ready.
And I wanted to do it on Imoen, just to let her shine a little bit, deal some damage to the Mind Flayers, and also because her armor class was not improved. You know, as you can see, the Mind Flayers don't have such a great time trying to hit Senashira, although they were targeting her here, that Ulitharid was, but he just couldn't get to
What is it?
Senashira. Oh yeah, and weren't we supposed to... I probably interrupted my own cast here with the spell immunity. Once we hit this Elder Brain, is going to summon some Brain Golems. And they are immune to everything, basically, except crushing damage. So we need these blunt weapons. And yeah, now the door closes. But we can unlock it and just deal with these Brain Golems. And the Brain is going to keep summoning them. So you can kind of farm some experience here, which I'm not going to do. They are worth 10,000. But let's just go in and finish this.
Righteousness shall prevail.
Can take advantage of some of our single target spells here.
What is it?
And yeah, of course there's another description, so feel free to read it. Of course there was a big psionic backlash when the whole like leading presence, the commanding presence that the Illithids had here died. Oh yeah, and we can loot it for some goodies. Actually a really big stack of these Shandon gems, I think they're called. Also the Elder Brain Blood we have, which is the third kind of a quest item. You don't need all three, but we're going to elaborate on that once we get to the actual part in the game. But yeah, that was the last like prominent, you know, presence in the area that we will have to get the blood of for a certain quest.
I stand amongst the
We can
righteous.
just get Imoen out of this stun. Alright, and now we are free. So the slaves, I guess, felt that backlash, and they're going to be already here. We don't have to go back south.
What is it? Certainly.
Yes, of course they're going to be overjoyed. Apparently they have some kind of a stash of equipment that they're going to be able to retrieve. I think he mentioned that in the previous conversation. But yeah, they're going to try to get out of the Underdark on their own. And here we get actually a +1 reputation and some more experience. And yeah, this is right about we're right about on time when it comes to this one. Carrion and I also leveled up, and now we're going to be able to maybe rest one more time before we proceed the main storyline, because now we are going to go into Adalon's lair and proceed with the main story. But that's all for or material for the next episode. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you then.